Buy the business, not the risk. How the hidden few acquire companies. Hello, everyone. My name is Tessa, and I'm here to introduce you to Reagan Rodriguez. Reagan is a futurist who teaches stratosphere wealthy legacy families how to become impact investors. Hi, Reagan. How are you?
I am doing better than I deserve. Good to see you today, and let's just go ahead and get started.
Yes, let's.
Yeah. So, out there, as you're watching this, businesses are quietly dying, not because they're broken, but because their owners are retiring with no succession plan, no buyers, and no bridge to their legacy. Every day, 10,000 business baby boomers retire. 12 million businesses in the US alone sit on the edge of closure simply because no one knows how to take them over. We teach elite operators how to buy cash flowing companies without using their own cash up front. In other words, no banks, no personal guarantees, and without the Shark Tank drama, just real deals structured the way insiders do it. And yes, this is exactly how the world top family offices, legacy wealth groups, and private equity deal makers do it quietly behind closed doors. If you've ever felt stuck, as if deals always slip away, and maybe as if you're always the almost buyer, I will be the first to say it's not your fault. You were handed a system that was built to keep you small. They told you to build a business, but the insiders, they acquire them on terms that are going to favor the buyer. Here's what I've noticed: the smart money does it. You find the good business with bad problems, that instead of writing a check, we solve the problems, and in return, we get equity before ever spending a dollar. It's called a buy-in strategy, and it flips the script on everything you thought you knew. You identify the leak. Maybe it's cash flow. Maybe it's pricing or systems or a customer churn. You then fix it, and then suddenly your 20 to 30% stake is now worth real money, not just startup dreams. Now, here's the punchline. Once you approve this business, the original founder can stay with you or buy you out using the profits you've created. That's right, you built the value and they cut you a check to leave. That's called winning on both ends of the deal. Business school teaches you how to build a business plan. We're going to teach you how to buy a business that's already printing cash. And this isn't theory, this is deal architecture. And in the Fifth Avenue Underground Club, we're not going to teach courses. We're going to hand you playbooks. Playbooks like how to identify distressed yet valuable industries. I'll also teach you the psychology of approaching the sellers with no resistance. And I'll also teach you how to build up equity structure using seller finance and phantom stock, and how you can buy now, pay later frameworks with no personal guarantees. I can also teach you how to create 3 to 7 time exits using portfolio positioning and the full 7-point deal map. And that is our trademark. If you want passive income with no effort, I'd probably just leave this page. And if you need someone to hold your hand for SBA paperwork, guys, this just isn't for you. But if you're an operator, if you've been quietly building and you know deep down that you were made to control an exit, then the door is open. It's an invitation in the world of real deal makers. And inside, you'll get access to our acquisition method vault, our 2-page templates on doing zero down, our live training with our team, on buy-in, buy-out negotiation scripts I'll also give you, and deal dossiers and verified seller leads in an exclusive community of operators, not spectators. Most people wait for the perfect moment to make the move. The insiders, we take the imperfect deal and we engineer perfection into it. You are not here by accident. If you're still watching this, you already know this is your time. And if you're still wondering if this works in the real world, let me quietly introduce you to some of the operators that stepped inside the underground club and they're switching the game. Tessa, if you would be so kind to share the screen,
Yes.
and we will then show, I want to show like James Inland Port Acquisition. Okay, James, his inland port acquisition, it's now the cornerstone of a regional logistics play. And I really like the story of Wanisha. It was a seaweed processing plant churned African export empire. And Elena loved the story. She inherited it had very little down, but she flipped it into a thriving textile brand. And then Samir, who I just had an email exchange with a week ago, he had restructured a failing phosphate mine into a government contracted supplier. And Nelson, he actually just emailed me about 2 hours ago, and he was just informing me on something else, but he had acquired a distressed offshore oil licenses and now part of an international joint venture. There's also the West Africa Syndicate. They're now running a uranium extraction rare earth outsourcing. There are the French partners who rolled up 3 micro renewals in the cell side energy SPAC. And how can I forget the water project in Latin America? We were using acquisition structures to reclaim, resell, and export fresh water. Wow. And one of my favorites projects was in Copenhagen, because it was a waste to energy strategy. We took over underutilized waste to energy plant that is now profitable. Tessa, you can unshare the screen now. These aren't influencers. These are not hustlers. These are builders. They're deal makers, acquirers. Step inside the acquisition vault. Buy the business. Own the cash flow. I want you to write your own playbook.
That's awesome. Thank you, Reagan. If you know you're next, then you can step in. Don't just apply, induct yourself and enter.